and welcome back to the video on this debate and to another edition of Dynamite Out of 10. And yeah, big show today, lots going on throughout the card really. The show features some major bouts, including a world title match between Jon Moxley and Penta, Elzera and Miedo. So yeah, big show, like I say, let's get straight into it with Chris Jericho versus Daniel Garcia versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Wheeler Yuta. Jericho and Claudio started the match with the two teams respectively. Jericho got in Claudio's face and the latter unloaded with multiple uppercuts. Garcia was tagged in and Castagnoli hit a backbreaker and an uppercut onto the pure champ. Yuta was then tagged in and the Blackpool Combat Club members were in control, with Garcia looking to make a comeback with a headbutt. At one point the action spilled to the outside, but BCC continued their momentum. Castagnoli and Jericho were illegal men before Castagnoli unloaded Jericho with a few more uppercuts, but Jake Hager caused a distraction at ringside, allowing the Wizard to hit a dropkick on the apron. The Jericho Appreciation Society used quick tags to maintain control over Castagnoli during this phase of the match. Castagnoli then hit a huge uppercut on Jericho to stop their momentum and tagged in Yuta. The latter unleashed a flurry of offense on the heels before tagging in Castagnoli. Jericho then hit a code breaker on the Swiss Star to get a 2 count before Yuta broke it up. He took out members of JS at ringside, and towards the end Jericho tried to use the baseball bat on Castagnoli but failed to do so. The Swiss Star hit the giant swing on Jericho with Daniel Garcia on his shoulders and took out the JS members at ringside after. Castagnoli then hit an uppercut from the top rope and followed up with a neutralizer to pick up the victory over the JAS. This gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really good match to kick off the show. Challengers getting the win, potentially leading to another match. But yeah, Claudio looked like a beast here and a fun match to kick off the show. It was then time for FTR versus Swerve and Ogoli. Cash and Swerve started the match for their teams. Both men squared up in the middle before Cash got the advantage. Strickland recovered and hit a moonsault on Wheeler. Dax Harwood was then tagged in. He then hit a suplex on Strickland for a 2 count before Keith Lee was tagged in. FTR then tried a big rig on Lee, but he blocked it with ease. The latter then hit a crossbody drop to get the upper hand. Strickland and Lee were in control as they isolated Wheeler and made quick tags. Wheeler then made a tag to Dax Harwood after Lee missed a splash. Harwood unloaded a flurry of offense on his opponents. He exchanged a series of 2 counts with Strickland hitting a German suplex. Cash Wheeler then tagged in at this point. He hit an uppercut on Strickland and exchanged some heavy strikes. Keith Lee was then tagged in. Lee and Strickland took out Harwood and hit a double team powerbomb on Wheeler. The latter managed to make a comeback and tagged in Harwood. Lee dominated both members of FTR and got a 2 count after hitting a headbutt. Towards the end, Cash Wheeler was tagged in and hit a splash to get a 2 count. FTR then hit the big ring on Keith Lee, but Swerve Strickland broke out the count at the last moment. Harwood rolled out Lee after a brief mix-up between Swerve and our Glory members. Gun Club then held on to Wheeler as Strickland hit a low blow on Harwood. This allowed Lee to hit the Big Bang Catastrophe, picking up the victory. Post-match, Gun Club attacked FTR, but the Acclaim made save and chased the heels away. Interesting for the tag team title scene. This, I thought maybe FTR would get the win, maybe could set up an Acclaim match at the next pay-per-view, but seems maybe not. But with the Acclaim interference at the end, who knows? But yeah, I'll give it 7 out of 10. Decent match for what it was. Maybe we'll just swallow the result around now. MJF was out next to receive a great crowd, and when Rene Paquette asked him about his match with Moxley, he then mocked and intimidated Moxley in front of Paquette. He called Moxley mid before telling Rene to shut up. He said that he will relatively clean against Moxley at Full Gear and won't use the ring as he doesn't need it. The Devil then vowed to win the championship and prove all distractions wrong. Stokely Halfway came out to interrupt him, thus sent the microphone out of Halfway's hand and ordered him not to harm Moxley after his match with Penta. If he didn't do, he was fired. MJF said he wanted to face Moxley at 110%. Stokely Halfway then smiled and walked away as MJF uttered his catchphrase to end the segment. Obviously foreshadowing what happened later on. But yeah, another great promo by MJF. Having Rene Paquette as the interview, I think, really adds something here as well. But anyway, it's time for Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara next. Both men circled around before Sammy hit a cheating knee strike on Danielson. He then hit a few elbow strikes and followed up with an enziguri for a 2 count. The Spanish God was in control at this point, but Danielson caught him and stopped his momentum. Danielson then hit some vicious looking elbow strikes and followed up with an uppercut. After a back and forth between the two stars, the American Dragon taunted Guevara's arm, but the latter managed to reach the ropes. Guevara then got control and hit a roundhouse kick to keep up the momentum. Danielson came back with some steps and hit a 4-arm strike on Sammy Guevara. Danielson then hit a drop kick from the top rope and followed up with a few roundhouse kicks. He missed one kick and Guevara hit a Spanish fly for a 2 count. Danielson then recovered and applied the label lock, but Guevara managed to reach the ropes. The American Dragon went to the top turnbuckle, but Guevara stopped him and got a 2 count out of hitting an avalanche Spanish fly. Towards the end, Danielson hit up a Psycho knee and continued his offense with some stomps and fire with a triangle choke. He then hit a few elbow strikes as Guevara passed out to the hand of the Blackpool Combat Club member, the victory. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Never really good match. Danielson getting the win, give him, kind of rebuilding after that loss to Moxley, I suppose. Guevara can deal with a lot of things, so yeah, 7 out of 10, really good stuff. It was then time for Riho versus Jamie Hayter. Both stars squared off in the middle of the ring before Hayter overpowered Riho in the corner. Hayter continued her power-based offense before Riho hit a Hurricane Rana. She then hit her opponent to the outside and hit a crossbody drop. Hayter got in control after sending Riho to the barricades and followed up with a suplex for a 2 count in the ring. Hayter continued to dominate and start turning the offense from Riho. The latter managed to get a 2 count via a roll-up. She then took out Riho on the apron but failed with a 619 attempt on Hayter. The latter came back with a brainbuster for a 2 count. Riho tried to come back with a Hurricane Rana but Baker caused a distraction. Hayter caught her but the Japanese star hit a code red. Towards the end, Riho missed a stomp and a Hayter capitalised with a backbreaker. The form then rolled Hayter up, but she hit a big break and followed up with a lariat to pick up the victory. Post-match, Storm came out and handed it to confrontation with Hayter to win the segment. So yeah, Hayter's push really in full motion here. Difficult one to call, but another much improved winning segment. Still kind of in the same spot, but I feel like the action was much better here. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It was then time for our main event, Jon Moxley v Penta for the world title. Both men squared off in the middle of the ring and Moxley and Penta then exchanged some vicious looking shots. After a back and forth between the two stars, Penta managed to get the advantage. She shoved Moxley into the corner but the latter retaliated with a big boot and a belly-to-belly suplex into the turnbuckle. He then hit a series of lariats and punches before biting Penta's forehead. The latter then hit a sling blade for a 2 count. Moxley recovered and hit a cutter followed by a pie driver. At one point both men were on the apron and Penta hit a few insecurities on Moxley. The purveyor of violence then hit a DDT on the steel steps and followed up with a lariat for a 2 count. Towards the end, Moxley was looking to hit a big move, but Penta hit a fear factor on a 2 count. Penta then mocked Moxley and the latter recovered to hit 2 very Death Valley drivers to retain the championship. Post-match, the phone came in and lodged an insult on Moxley. The BCC members looked backstage. MJF came out after some deliberation, decided to help Moxley. However, the firm turned on MJF as Ethan Page hit a super kick on him, then followed by an Ego's Edge on MJF. William Morrissey then dropped MJF with a chokeslam on a table at the ringside area to end this week's Dynamite. So yeah, definitely didn't see this one coming, but MJF going off on his own. Yeah, to me the firm thing, I don't know, it just never really clicked for me, so I'm personally not too upset about it, but surprised it's happened this soon. But yeah, the match itself, 8 out of 10. Now we've got another dimension to the already great Moxley and Jeff storyline, so yeah, really good way to end Dynamite. Overall this week, Dynamite gets an 8 out of 10 from me. I just thought this was a consistently really good episode of Dynamite this week. Loads of stuff going on. And yeah, I don't really feel like there was a dip in the whole thing. So yeah, I thought this was a really good show. So overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's it for here. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, really sort of comment, and if fun listening to the show for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.